Tiffany, it is the holiday season, so we decided to do like comfy interview day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cozy.
We're so cool. The T-Pop hoodie.
Yes.
T-Pop was the first place that I actually met Tiffany.
Yeah, I thought about it. I almost was going to change before I came in because I was like, I don't know what to wear, but I was like, no, this was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
First place we got to hang out.
Tiffany and T-Pop, a very special spot in my heart. It was the first place that I met somebody in Los Angeles. I had just moved here, and I've told this story like 30 times now, but Tiffany was the first person I met, and we had great tea.
I'm there like every day, so.
That was last January. Now here it is a year later, and that's a big reason why I wanted to do this interview. Yep. 1 year later, and we're still here. Yeah, we're still rocking it out.
I love it.
All right, so we're kind of reaching that like vacation time of the year. Take a little deep breath, take a little vacation. Yeah. But you've had a busy year. You just had the LiveMe music competition not long ago. Talk to me about that, because for those of you guys who aren't familiar with it, it was a huge competition and like amazing production for that stage too.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't, when I first got into it, I didn't expect it to be as awesome. I mean, I knew it was going to be awesome because they're a great company, but I didn't know the hugeness of what it was going to be. So, funny story, I was going out to see a concert of my friends, Margarita. Plug Margarita, she's great. And we met up at one of my other friends' house to kind of like just hang before, and we were all going to ride together. And so we were hanging, eating snacks and stuff, and this girl that I had met a long time before at someone's birthday was there that night, so we reconnected, and then all my other friends were talking about like all these different shows I'd been doing in LA, and she was like, no way, I literally just got signed on to like recruit people for this competition, you should do it. And I was like, I don't really know, because I don't have a lot of experience with like live streaming and stuff like that, and I was like, I just don't know if I'd be good at it or whatever. And I literally was like, I'm not allowed to cuss, so I was like, frick it. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Frick it all day.
Yeah, and so I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, I don't have any plans for like the dates that they were, and I was like, I'll just do it. And it literally was one of the greatest things I've done. I just did not know what to expect, and I made so many friends and had such good times.
And you're no stranger to singing competitions. I mean, in the past you did American Idol, so now doing this, how was this by comparison? I imagine it's a little bit slower paced because those TV shows do it like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, well, so this one, actually, so with American Idol, when I did it, there was so much time in between everything, because, you know, they have to go to all the different states and audition people. And so there were a lot of things that were very similar, and there were a lot of things that were really different. For instance, like with this competition, it was the second round of it was strictly online. Like, we had to get on the app, and we were on a live stream with the judges, and we would perform one song, and then they would give us a score based on that. So that was like completely different. It was so wild to be like performing, because, you know, I'm used to like having people like in front of me and like feeding off of that, and so it was like just me and my phone, me, Keaton, playing guitar, my dog, and like people on the screen. So it was like so different. But it was really, really cool. And then like when it came to like the big performance at the iHeartRadio Theater, that was like the coolest thing ever. And it was just like, the whole time I was just like trying to soak it up. I'm like, the fact that I am here is the coolest thing ever, and like so many legends get to perform on that stage. Like, that's where they do a lot of their big artist private concerts with like Kiss FM, iHeartRadio, and all that stuff. And it was just really cool, and I got to meet all the Kiss FM DJs and like become friends with them, and it was just all in all the best experience.
Yeah, when you talk about having those moments that are kind of benchmarks in your career, that's got to be one of them.
Yes, definitely. I was like, if I talked to myself like a year ago from that moment, I would have never expected to be like...
I talked to you a year ago.
Yeah, like it was just like, you know, I had, at that point in time, like I had just put one song out, I think. I can't remember what date was it? Do you remember?
Let's see. When we talked, it was like the middle of December, so I don't think Blonde had come out yet.
Yes, Blonde hadn't, but I had Pieces and Falling out. Yes, and so it was like, I didn't even know. I was just like guessing, you know, I'm just like throwing stuff up and seeing what's happening. And it was just, I don't know, to see it all come together, and to like, there was literally one moment right before I got up on stage, I was like, the fact that like, all this work I've been doing, it's like, you know, sometimes it's hard, like you only see... You see everything that you do, but not everyone gets to see all the hard work you put in.
Right.
And so when I was like right about to go up on that stage, I was like, wow, like it's paying off. Like I'm getting to do the things I love and getting to, you know, meet people and share what I love with people. So it was really cool.
And I think it's so easy to get into the mindset of like, oh, I didn't, you know, get to the point where I'm Taylor Swift performing at stadiums this year. But like when you're in the moment, and I was talking with our guy Derek back here behind the camera earlier today. It's almost like your goal needs to be living the life that you want to be living, no matter how many people are there watching you do it. It is
so funny you say that, because I was looking back on the goals. I kind of went through my like seasonal depression of like, I didn't do anything this year, and like, you know, you set these goals.
Which is so common out here.
It is. It's so easy to get caught up in like what you didn't do, and I was looking at them, and it was like 2 days of me just laying in bed, being like, I'm failing, and I was like, you know what, I made an effort to like look at all the things. I like started making a list of like everything that has been different than in years past. Like, what were the things I learned? What were the things I've done that I'd never done before? I made a list of that, and it pulled me out of it, and I was like, yes, like I did a lot this year, and. But when I started to write new goals for 2020, and I was like, I'm going to set goals that are completely reliant on myself. So it's not like codependent, like, so I started acting. So it was like, instead of writing, get an agent, which is something I want, it was just like, I am going to make a reel and send it to agents. Like, that's something I can control, and I can definitely get done without being dependent on other people. So that's kind of how I set my goals this year, is like, I'm going to just focus on the things I really want, because I feel like that this year was like learning what that is, and I'm gonna just do it, you know. So,
and I mean, there's so many different places in LA to perform or to go act and do what you want to do. That this is really a place to take advantage of that. It's so interesting to watch. I was watching the Jonas Brothers documentary the other day, as one does, and they were going down the 101, and I just saw a shot of our exit, and I was like, this is where things are happening. Tiffany earlier this year performed at the Hotel Cafe. If you watch Katy Perry's documentary, there's video of her performing in Hotel Cafe. So as much of a struggle as it is to be out here, let me go ahead and run through some of the places that Tiffany performed. The Study, Hotel Cafe, Madame Scion, and at almost every event that I've been at with you, there's been one guy sitting in the front row dancing his heart out. Tiffany's boyfriend, Keaton. This is like a special time for you guys to be able to just enjoy music and enjoy performing. What's that like for you?
It is. It's really special. It's, you know, because for a while, like, we weren't doing shows. So, and this year was really like the year of shows and like putting ourselves out there and just like taking the leap. And it's just been so great. Like, I feel very lucky to be surrounded by so many great musicians, actors, artists of all kinds, and just like I literally, we were in the car the other day, I'm like, this is going to be a moment of our lives that we're going to look back on and be like, that was it. Like, that was so special and so like just the dream, you know, like when you think of like in the movies and they look back and they're like, oh, those were the good old days. Like, these are the good old days, and I'm just trying to be as present as I can and soak up all of it, because it's just the best.
I know you're as big a fan of The Office as I am.
Oh, yes.
And in the final episode when Andy Bernard, who, by the way, I don't know if you know this, I saw him at the grocery store the other week. I got a picture.
Really? I feel like I remember
I was
seeing
so
the picture.
that guy.
Yes, but do it. Do it.
Gotta do it.
Yeah,
anyways, in the final episode of The Office, Andy Bernard said, I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days when you're already in them.
Yes. Maybe that's where I got it from.
Well, no, it's so self-aware like that. It's huge.
Yeah, it's, and you hear people say that all the time, but it's like, it's also like, we say that, but it's like, how can, I know when I'm in a moment, and I just want to soak it up as much as I can, and I know that there's still so much I'm not getting, and I just have to kind of accept that. And like, nowadays I used to focus on like little details, like, oh, there's blue on the walls, and like this, you know, this and this, but I'm really just, instead of like putting words around it, I'm really just like feeling the feeling. Like, if I'm sad, like, feel the sadness. If I'm happy, just, you know, feel it, and like all that kind of stuff, because that's what it's about. It's like those little moments of life.
Yeah.
So.
And you spoke about having so many friends around you that are in music, so many friends around you that are in acting. You just were at the premiere for Jumanji with Madison Iseman. How was the premiere?
It was so awesome. It's actually I just texted her. It's the #1 movie right now. So it's so exciting, and that's actually how we got connected.
Yes.
I think I told Maddie that, but yeah, it was really, really cool. I had been to her premieres before, but never one of that
magnitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, honestly freaking out. Like, I saw John Mayer, and I literally...
Your eyes are watering right now.
Literally,
if you guys can see this right now.
I love my boyfriend, but John Mayer might be the hottest man I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, oh... man, but yeah, it was really, really fun, and there was just, it was so, you know, you see people on TV, and then it's like in real life, and you're just like, whoa, you're a person, like,
right.
And just, it just, I don't know, it just like, it was really, really a great experience, and the movie's fantastic, so it was just, I was really thankful that Maddie let me share that with her, so.
It's kind of interesting you talk about the John Mayer, seeing these people in real life.
Yeah.
I went to the American Music Awards a couple of weeks ago.
Awesome.
And I was standing there waiting for the show to start, and I heard this big roar of people cheering and looking behind me, and I was like, what's going on? And I turned around, and I was eye level with Taylor Swift. She's a very tall person. I don't know if you know this.
Yes, I have heard. I have heard.
I'm about 6 foot,
yeah,
for those of you guys who don't know.
Tall,
yeah,
so.
And I turned around. She was right there. It was an interesting moment. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, for those of you guys know, I love Selena Gomez.
Yes.
I was
You're gonna marry her.
I'm going to marry Selena Gomez. I actually moved out to LA to marry Selena Gomez and just doing this talk show in the meantime.
Yes.
But in that meantime, she was the only person I didn't see at the award show. Yeah, I sat next to, oh gosh, what's his name? The guy with the dreads, the rapper. He did a song with Ozzy Osbourne.
Post Malone? Wait.
You could just say it. What is it?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. I did see Travis Scott, but I sat next to Post Malone.
Okay, yeah, Post Malone. He's from my my hometown.
Really?
Yeah. Well, okay. So he's from. This is like one of. I saw a tweet once. It was like, do you ever ask people? Oh, I'm totally gonna butcher this, but it's like, oh, I'm from South Lake. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. That's where Post Malone is from. But
okay.
He's not from South Lake. He's from the town over. But he worked at the Chicken Express in my town.
That counts.
And just did an event at that Chicken Express literally the day after I left.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Because you were back in Texas for a little while.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, I did it near Thanksgiving, and I always said, I'm like, oh yeah, he's from my town.
Yeah,
but he's awesome.
It's amazing to like just see these artists in life and know that we're in the place we need to be, because it kind of just verifies for you that like this is where all of this is happening. This is where you need to be.
Yes, and for me it was just.
And you're in the same city they shot The Office.
Yes, yes. It's right next to our house. It's
really?
Right, yes,
I didn't know it was that close.
Yes, it is so awesome. Yeah, but like it's so cool to like know these things, because part of like the struggle with being artists and going after these dreams is sometimes they feel really far away, but when you break things down, it's really quite simple. And like these people that play your favorite characters are humans, you know, and so it's nice to be reminded of that. And I'm just thankful because it just. Like I've been watching movies and stuff, and I'm like, sometimes when you go to the theaters and stuff, it feels so big, it feels so far away, it feels so sometimes hard to fathom doing it ourselves. And it's really kind of, it's just making movies, you just playing. It's fun. And so,
If you haven't seen it, and for you guys also, Universal Hollywood, if you've never taken the backlot tour, they take you past the set. It's still up for the Christmas, the Grinch That Stole Christmas. So Whoville is still standing.
I've seen it. That's awesome.
Just hits you right there. Hits you right in the 2001.
Yeah, it's just a place, you know? It's crazy. It's awesome.
1 year ago, we talked about this. What is something to look forward to in 2019? You told me to keep an eye out for Keaton.
Yes.
Keaton and his band had a new song come out. Keep an eye out for Maddie. Maddie jumped out onto Isabel. Is it Annabelle?
Annabelle, yes.
Annabelle. And then you had mentioned also Spencer. Yeah. And Spencer had his album release.
Yes.
And what can we look forward to with Tiffany in 2020? We got some Clear Sight coming. 2020. Yes. It's coming.
Yes, that's what it is. I'm glad you know that. That's what we've been saying.
There it is.
So I just retweeted one of my friend Will J's tweets, and he tweeted 2019 was the breakdown and 2020 is the breakthrough. And I really feel like this year where I am now, I feel like I know exactly what I want, and it feels closer than it ever has. Like this year, it was kind of like the fake it till you make it year. Like I was just kind of throwing myself out there and was like, okay, I'll learn how to swim. If I just jump in the water, like I'll have to. And I feel like I know how to swim now, and I know how to make decisions and make choices based on what I want instead of what I think I want. And so we're going all out. I made some of my goals for the year is like I'm going to put out 5 songs, and I'm working on. I feel like I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. I'll hold myself accountable.
Throw it out there.
I started acting, and I'm working on a script of my own, and we'll see what comes with all that. But this is just the year of creation. So.
One song that reminds me of like breaking through in 2020, and it's so cheesy, but I love it.
Good.
The movie Lemonade Mouth had a song called Breakthrough,
yes.
And I've just been listening to that song a lot.
I love that. I love that. That's what it's about.
2020 is the breakthrough.
Good.
And
yes.
For those of you guys that are unaware, Hollywood Boulevard is like it's about 2 miles or so where the actual stars are at on Hollywood Boulevard, and I walk that to church. I live on one end of the Walk of Fame, and my church is on the other end of the Walk of Fame. Mosaic.
Yes.
Yep. And on my walk home, I like to listen to your music a lot. I listen to Keaton a lot. I listen to because there's just something special about when you know the people singing the songs that just makes it means so much more to you.
I get that. Yeah.
So I look forward to hearing some more of your music. I'll be rocking out just like I am to pieces right now. And it's going to be a big 2020, I have a feeling. Guys, she is Tiffany Stringer. Big things coming up. And it's so good to see you again.
I love you, Brandon.
Oh, my gosh. One of my favorite people in Hollywood. We'll have to do this in like 8 months again or something.
Yes, I'm in. I'm always in.